100 years. That's all that separates the Titanic and the Symphony of the Seas, and yet they feel like two different civilizations. When the Titanic was built, she was the embodiment of confidence. Engineers called her unsinkable, not because they believed in arrogance, but in progress. She was the first of her kind, a technological marvel with watertight compartments, steel hulls, and power beyond imagination. She could carry over 3,000 people, a miracle for her time. But today, the Symphony of the Seas can carry nearly 9,000, and she does it with room to spare. Inside Titanic, the largest gathering spaces were dining rooms and lounges. Every seat was a symbol of wealth, of class, of one's place in the world. The first-class dining saloon could hold about 500 guests. By comparison, Symphony's main dining halls can seat thousands at once, across three grand levels, with digital menus and kitchens serving over 30,000 meals a day. Titanic's theater seated a few hundred. Symphony's Royal Theater seats 1,400, with professional stage lighting, orchestra pits, and full-scale musicals performed at sea. Titanic had one grand staircase. Symphony has 24 elevators, 18 decks, and 7 neighborhoods, each with its own mood. Central Park, boardwalk, pool zone, entertainment place. It's no longer a ship. It's a city that floats. But the difference in capacity isn't just about size. It's about design philosophy. Titanic's architects built for beauty and luxury. They wanted passengers to forget they were even on the ocean. Symphony's designers built for experience, for movement, flow, and diversity. Every deck, every seat, every open area serves a purpose to entertain, feed, or comfort. Titanic's lounges were quiet, elegant, candlelit. Symphony's decks are alive with color and music. Both reflect the dreams of their time, one an era of discovery, the other of abundance. Then there's safety. On Titanic, safety was a promise built on pride, a belief in technology over nature. She had only 20 lifeboats, enough for about half her people. Regulations back then were written for smaller ships. But on Symphony, safety is not a luxury, it's the foundation. Over 18 lifeboats, each carrying 370 passengers, line her sides, enough for every soul on board. Every life jacket, every alarm, every drill follows a choreography that's practiced daily. The difference between Titanic and Symphony isn't just numbers, it's knowledge. Every rule in modern cruising exists because of the lessons written in 1912. Imagine being in Titanic's dining hall as she sailed across the Atlantic. White linen, silver cutlery, the sound of a string quartet. Now imagine standing in Symphony's open-air Central Park at night. Real trees swaying, soft lights, the hum of laughter all around. Two ships, two worlds, yet the same feeling, that timeless human awe of being surrounded by the sea. When you look at the numbers, it's astonishing. Titanic, 3,300 passengers and crew. Symphony, nearly 9,000. Titanic weighed 46,000 tons. Symphony weighs 228,000 tons, almost 5 Titanics combined. And yet, both move through the water at a gentle 22 knots, about 25 miles per hour. Both designed not for speed, but for the journey. In Titanic's day, crossing the ocean was adventure. Today, it's leisure. But the same vast water surrounds them both. Walk the halls of Symphony, and you'll feel echoes of history. Crew members polishing railings late at night. Passengers gazing out at the horizon, just as they did more than a century ago. Every light that glows on this ship exists because others once sailed through darkness. Titanic's loss reshaped maritime law, safety design, and the very idea of what a ship must be. Symphony's success is not just an engineering triumph, it's a tribute to those who came before. When we compare seat capacity, we're not just counting people, we're measuring progress, ambition, and human imagination. Every extra seat on Symphony represents another life carried safely across the sea, a new chance to experience the world without fear. Titanic showed what humanity could dream. Symphony shows what humanity could learn. 100 years ago, the Titanic set out to prove mankind could conquer the sea. Today, ships like Symphony prove something deeper, that we can live with it, respect it, and share its beauty. So, when you look at the numbers, remember this. Every deck, every seat, every sound of laughter on the Symphony of the Seas exists because of the silence the Titanic left behind. Two ships, two legacies, one endless ocean. The Titanic will forever be the ship that taught us humility. The Symphony of the Seas, the ship that shows how far we've come. And the sea, it remembers them both. At first glance, numbers tell you that Symphony of the Seas could swallow the Titanic whole 5 times over. But numbers alone don't tell the story. They don't reveal how space feels when you're living it, how the walls breathe, how footsteps echo, how people move inside a world built to float. Because the truth is, both ships, despite their differences in scale, were born from the same human desire to create a home on the sea. On the Titanic, the seats were a symbol of something larger: class, hierarchy, status. Each meal was a reminder of where you stood in the world. First class dined under crystal chandeliers, silver service glinting like starlight reflected on water. Down below, third class passengers ate simple fare in bright, clean halls, proud, hopeful, dreaming of new lives in America. On Symphony of the Seas, there are no class divisions carved into the deck plans. You can wander freely, from an open-air cafe to a robotic bar that mixes your drink with machine precision. It's equality by design. Thousands dine together in places that range from quiet fine dining to crowded buffets filled with laughter. And yet, no matter where you sit, whether by a window, near the pool, or under the glowing canopy of Central Park, you still feel that same heartbeat that pulsed through Titanic's dining rooms over a century ago. That connection between people, food, and the endless sea beyond the glass. But here's the part most passengers never realize. Every seat on a modern cruise ship isn't just designed for comfort. It's part of a mathematical ballet. Every chair, every table, every theater row affects the ship's balance, evacuation routes, and safety systems. Designers calculate angles, spacing, and even the average weight of passengers per section, because the ocean doesn't forgive miscalculations. On Titanic, these numbers were based on estimation and trust. In 1912, naval architecture was still art wrapped in hope. Today, with Symphony, it's science guided by simulation, thousands of hours of digital modeling before the first beam of steel is ever laid. The Titanic shipbuilders never imagined passengers lining up for a water slide at sea. But that's what capacity means now, not just how many people fit on board, but how many experiences can coexist without chaos. Symphony's 9,000 souls move through the decks like clockwork, a living rhythm of dining times, show schedules, pool hours, and midnight snacks. The logistics are invisible, but astonishing. Thousands of crew members work silently behind the scenes: engineers, cooks, laundry staff, waste managers, navigators, ensuring that the floating city never sleeps. For every seat a passenger rests in, somewhere below deck, another crew member stands. Now here's where it gets even stranger. If you compare the Titanic's lifeboat capacity to Symphony's entertainment capacity, the irony is sharp. In 1912, there were enough lifeboats for just 1,178 people, less than half of those on board. Today, Symphony can seat more people in her outdoor aqua theater than Titanic could save in her boats. That number, that contrast, is history's silent echo. It's a reminder that every regulation, every safety measure, every single orange life jacket on Symphony exists because of the cold lessons written by Titanic's tragedy. Capacity isn't just about numbers. It's about purpose. Titanic carried dreamers. Emigrants seeking a better life, aristocrats crossing for business or prestige. Symphony carries explorers of comfort, travelers chasing joy, rest, and escape. One ship carried the future of a generation. The other carries the future of leisure. But both, in their own time, carried hope. If you walk through Titanic's grand staircase in your mind, you can still hear the faint murmur of conversation, the shuffle of boots, the distant hum of engines below. If you walk through Symphony's royal promenade, it's the same, just louder, brighter, alive with neon and laughter. Different centuries, same human heartbeat. We are always trying to make the sea feel like home. But here's what most people forget. The sea doesn't care about comfort. It doesn't care about chandeliers or Wi-Fi or luxury cabins. It's timeless, vast, and untamed. Both ships, Titanic and Symphony, exist at its mercy. But the difference is in how they respect it. Titanic believed it could outsmart nature. Symphony knows it can't, and that's why she survives. Her sensors, stabilizers, and satellite links track storms thousands of miles away. Every course change, every shift in engine power, every evacuation drill is designed to honor the sea's power, not defy it. It's a quiet kind of humility, born from history's pain. The Titanic had a capacity for glory. Symphony has a capacity for gratitude. Think about it. Titanic's passengers marveled at electric lights, private baths, and telegraphs. Symphony's guests stream movies from the middle of the ocean, call loved ones on FaceTime, and eat sushi 2,000 miles from shore. What connects them isn't technology, it's wonder. That same childlike amazement at what humankind can build when it dares to dream against the tide. When you sit in a deck chair today, gazing out at the horizon, you're sitting on a century of innovation and sacrifice. Every screw, every bolt, every lifeboat, every emergency light, they all whisper stories written in salt water. Because the Titanic didn't just sink, she transformed the world. She turned tragedy into a blueprint for safety, design, and compassion. She gave meaning to the word capacity, not as a number, but as a responsibility. And the Symphony of the Seas carries that responsibility like a crown. When you compare their seat capacity, you're really comparing eras, human ambition then and human wisdom now. Titanic showed us what we could build. Symphony shows us what we can sustain. From 3,300 to 9,000, from elegance to efficiency, from disaster to mastery. Yet no matter how large our ships grow, the ocean remains the same, mysterious, ancient, infinite. Maybe that's the real comparison, not between ships, but between generations, between who we were and who we've become. 100 years ago, the Titanic carried humanity's pride. Today, Symphony carries its perseverance, and every wave that touches her hull carries the memory of the ship that came before. But no matter how big our ships get, the sea always has the final seat.